In 1970, in the sprawling city of Los Angeles, a social worker met a child she would never forget. The girl was 13 years old but looked closer to 6 or 7. She had a strange, hunched walk and she wouldn't look anyone in the eye. She didn't speak, only making small, quiet sounds. The initial thought was that she had a severe developmental disability, but the truth was far more disturbing. This girl, who would later be known by the pseudonym Genie to protect her identity, had spent almost her entire life locked in a single room. Her father, a man deeply paranoid about the outside world, believed that noise was bad and that language would corrupt his daughter. So, for over a decade, he took it all away. Imagine a childhood without a single word spoken to you. No lullabies, no bedtime stories, no one asking, "How was your day?" Genie had no toys, no books, and no television. The house was shrouded in an enforced, absolute silence. If she dared to make a noise, she was beaten or frightened back into stillness. Her mother, who was partially blind and lived in fear of her husband, felt powerless to intervene. Relatives didn't visit. Neighbors heard nothing unusual. To the entire world, it was as if Genie simply didn't exist. Her discovery was almost accidental. One day, her mother finally found the courage to escape the abusive home and sought social services for herself. It was then that the authorities stumbled upon Genie. They were expecting a case of neglect, but what they found was a human being who had been deprived of nearly every fundamental experience that makes us who we are. She didn't understand language because she had never been spoken to. She didn't know what a conversation was. She had never been held, never been played with, never been taught that another person could be a source of comfort instead of fear, and yet there was a spark, a flicker of curiosity in her eyes. With painstaking care from doctors and caregivers, Genie slowly began to emerge. She started to learn individual words: blue, orange, mother. She experienced joy for the first time, her first laugh echoing in a room full of astonished researchers. She began to form attachments, showing affection to the people who were finally showing her kindness. For a brief, hopeful moment, it seemed like she might recover. But as the years went by, a terrible realization dawned on the experts studying her. Genie had missed the critical window for language acquisition, that period in early childhood when our brains are hardwired to learn grammar and syntax. She could learn vocabulary, but she could never form a proper sentence. The part of her brain that governs language, starved of input for so long, had simply never fully developed. The window had closed forever. Genie's story haunts professionals to this day for a chilling reason. There were no dramatic injuries, no daring rescue from a kidnapper. The profound damage was done not by what happened to her, but by what didn't happen. It was the absence of love, the absence of words, the absence of human connection. Her case proved that neglect can be just as devastating as outright cruelty. Genie survived. She lives a quiet life in assisted care today, her privacy fiercely guarded. But her story left a permanent mark on our understanding of childhood development, isolation, and the essential need for language. And it left us with a haunting truth: a person can vanish completely without ever leaving their own home. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as compelling as we did, please like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the human experience.